Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the North American Tournament of Legends number 2, qualifier number 1, qualifying round number 2.
Indeed. Last qualifying game of the day.
Yeah, well, qualifying match.
Well, yeah.
It too. But I hope you guys are enjoying any music that you guys have that we have on stream. Courtesy of Monster Cat. Go check them out. YouTube.com/MonsterCat. They are a great resource for your favorite EDM and other kind of tunes. I'm a personal fan of the glitch hops that they got. A lot of the drum and bass stuff is amazing. I actually got to meet some of the guys who do. Yeah. Last MLG, I met Steven Walking, who is a really, really nice dude, hilarious Canadian guy, got a big beard. So go ahead and check those guys out because they do some really great stuff.
Alright, cool guys, so once again we're going into our second qualifying game of the day. Winner of this will move on to the finals at the end of August. Losers, however, will get the opportunity to fight for third place against Elusive a little bit later. And once again, it's going to be Team Blacklisted versus Jubinder. So these two teams, again, very well-known names in the scene. Not kind of like any unknowns like we were seeing last time with Straight Outta Columbia or anything. These guys are fairly well-established. We have some new rosters coming into play, especially on the side of Jubinder. But overall, these guys are, you know, fairly well-established. How do you personally think that we'll see this game going?
Man, I think it's gonna be our first 2-1 of qualifier number 1. I really do. I like these guys a lot. Both teams, their compositions are very strong. These members are guys who've been around for a very long time, and I think it's gonna be 2-1 to Blacklist.
All right, we'll have to wait and see.
Also, Blue, I think you owe Steb an apology.
Well, I was just about to get to that. So let's head into the game once again. Over here, 4 Team Blacklisted on the Reds. Oh, they haven't even joined teams yet. Hold on.
Alright, while we're waiting for them to join teams, Blue messed up. See, Blue forgot that Steb was on this team. He also forgot that the fan is on. So, apologies for the fan. But, yeah, so, from us to you, Steb, we're sorry if we forgot you.
We are sorry.
But, also before we get into this, the person who won the gems that you're giving away, at Gzuzu, Erica on Twitter says her favorite map is Legacy of Qualifier because of the huge midpoint and the possibility of a Lord Rush, which means that she's been paying attention to every time we've ever casted that map.
Alright, so once again here, getting back to the game, teams are starting to join up now. So over here on the red team, we have Hans, Steb, and Spoon Girl, along with Storm and Yura for Team Blacklisted. Storm and Yura will be joining the squad in just a second here. And over on the blue team for Team Jubinder, we've got Jesu, Vec, Zombify playing as their substitute for today, and then Serenite Sky and Falana are going to be filling the last 2 slots as soon as these guys have joined up and are ready to go. Our map rotation will be the same as last time. We'll be starting off over here on Temple of the Silent Storm, going over to Forest for the second game, and our third game will be on the Battle of Kylo if a third game is needed.
I really want to see Kylo. Haven't seen it all day.
We'll see it in the third place game, guaranteed, because I think it's the first map there. But again, I think you're hoping for that 2-1 this time, correct?
I am, and knowing my history with the caster cards, I probably won't get it. But
this is actually somewhat of a hard one to call because Blacklist's performance has been kind of up and down in the weeklies. We can't really like predict. You know, they've been doing good some weeks, some other weeks weren't really doing too well. So it is somewhat hard to predict. And then we have Jubinder as well, who this squad we haven't seen playing the weeklies too much. We didn't really see them in this squad at least, this roster play in ToL1. So it's very hard to predict how these guys are going to perform. So it is a little bit hard to call how things are going to go here.
Yeah, I agree. So, given that this is the last qualifying round of the day, give me your prediction. Who do you think is going to win? Hashtag Blacklisted or hashtag Jubinder. That's 2 O's. Tweet at me at MLG
Alright guys, so checking out some builds here. Checking out some builds specifically, and one that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be curious of right out of the gate is Yura playing a Yura build? What's a Yura build, Sire? Do you even know what a Yura build is?
Please enlighten me. So I've seen Yura. He historically was on PvV with Storm.
Yep.
So those guys have a long history with each other. But you know, he was always even when Spirit Rangers were a thing, he would run Spirits, but something slightly off.
Yeah. But Yura is playing full-on Power Ranger. This is a Yura build. This is his build. It's kind of caught on. There's been quite a few other Rangers giving it a shot. We've seen it in Team Q, we've seen it in Solo Q a little bit too now. And this is very much his build. It runs with Longbow. This is going to be one of the first times that we're going to see like a serious appearance from Longbow in a tournament, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it does pan out.
Well, now I hope that my 2-1 prediction is really correct.
But again, just to kind of go over the build and more specifics, the longbow has some amazing DPS potentiality in team fights. It does come down to a lot his positioning. And on this map, and again, remember, with him running the Eagle Eye trait, the range on it is going to be 1500. Literally, I think the longest range of any ability in the game that you can possibly get. 1500, which means if he's using position correctly, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with on mid-fights. That's the first thing. Somebody on the red team or somebody on the blue team, probably Falana or Zombify, is really going to have to control him very hard, because if they let him just free range, everyone on the blue team is going to die on point, like, instantly, because the damage, the pressure that's going to be coming from longbow, just going to be so much for them to handle.
Alright, well, it looks like we're just waiting on one person to actually get in the game.
I think it's, who are we waiting for here?
We lost
Steb. We didn't forget him that time. Waiting for Steb.
Alright. Looks like Steb DC'd. And Blacklisted, man. Need to get some better internet.
I think so. Steb specifically needs to get some better internet there. But let's take a look at some of the other builds here once again very quickly. Going over to Zombify again, playing the POC Necro build. 06404 with Carry On Amulet, Nightmare Runes, and Nightmare Runes very, very annoying. It's going to be very annoying for people like Yura, for people like Spoongirl that are kind of just throwing a bunch of mini crits onto him all the time there. It's things like that are going to just be so annoying because they'll just be randomly getting feared away from them, especially if they try to go for a direct engagement onto him. And then meanwhile, back over here, the traits are going to make it rather defensive as well. With him going to Path of Corruption will be very good for getting boons off of teammates, especially Guardians. It's getting things like stability off there when they're trying to get stomps or resistance off, things like that too. Is going to make him a very effective utility in the team fight there too. So again, just 1 second here. We gotta take care of something real quick again. There we go. Alright, so we're all good now. And then other things like that, we've got Falana playing Thief, and I think Falana will be playing DP. No, apologies, SD, so we'll be taking that kind of... We haven't actually seen this yet today. It's SD very much kind of in... At least so far from what we've seen in this tournament. The Wheatleys would kind of lie to the statement, but so far from what we've seen here, NA does seem to favor DP a little bit more, at least from the Thieves we've seen play today, but this is going to be our first appearance we've seen from SD, at least I think from the qualifying rounds at least here. And SD, again, doesn't have too much damage, at least in this specific build. Is more of a utilitarian thing, getting boons off of enemies. Same thing that, again, Zombify is going to be able to do, and is very good at kind of poking away, keeping himself alive because it has a lot more dodges than DP has available. And things like the Runes of Strength here are slowly going to make him more and more powerful as we go throughout the team fight.
You know, knowing that they have this boon strip ability, and so we've got boons obviously from Hans, probably some from Storm, and I'm not sure if they're expecting Yura to go full Yura or not.
Oh yeah, Yura's full Yura. He's got Protect Me, he's got Signet of Renewal Lane, he's full Selfish Ranger. Like
right. I'm saying I'm not sure if the other team expects that.
Oh no, well,
I'm
sure that they're keen on the builds here at the moment, as a lot of teams usually are before games begin. But we do have Steb joined back up here, guys, so we are going to get started once again with our first game in this matchup. Team Blacklisted versus Joe Binder. Let us begin, guys.
Alright, so within 8 seconds we'll see the split. I am kind of hoping to see a lot of crossplay off the bat. I like that aggressive stuff here, and with Envy's really high damage output, we may see... maybe. It
does seem very mid-focused for start of the gate here. There's not really... Usually if people were going to go for a stealth on cross, they would kind of be hanging out around here, right around this eye or this eye, but we don't really see any of that. So everybody's going to go to mid. You can see, though, again, let's take a look here. Yura instantly kind of mounting his position. I want to go over to... Look at the Steb and the other members of Blacklist we're kind of expecting a cross, though. But you can see over here, they know Urantian is their main focus. They've gone up to defend him. You've got Steb camping around him. You've got Storm around him, because you know that there's going to be people hanging up around here. So they want to make sure that nobody jumps on a Yura and knocks him out of play right at the start, because he's such a crucial part of the team. But like you just saw there again, just knocking Zombify into the fight there with a super, super long-range knockbacks that he has available.
This is so ridiculous. I wish that I'd seen this beforehand, and like, this is a build I've never actually seen in my entire, like...
Look at him, see, Zombify once more getting knockback. Now goes into the Great Sword. Thankfully, Zombie able to dodge out of the way of a lot of that, but does have to be a little bit careful here, thankfully getting some condies onto him now. But you're not under much pressure here now, and if he can find his positioning, if he can get it in the middle here, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah, the problem for Red Team, though, is they didn't have anyone defending home.
Yeah.
That allowed Falana to just really get open up in there. But Zombie now going down. Zombify's biceps won't be able to protect him for much longer. Shield of Absorption able to stop all the projectiles coming out from Yura, so he swaps into the Great Sword and just runs right in. And we will see. Oh no, Steb gets stabbed with the llama finisher right there. Hans actually procs I think it must have been a resolute healer.
Steb, unfortunately, somewhat low throughout the main portion of that fight, to be completely honest. We saw him going down really a lot of times, and kind of unsurprising to see him get locked down there rather early. But still, overall here, we definitely are seeing Blacklisted kind of dominate the mid-fight. They did, or rather they are about to just take the full cap here with Serenade Sky go down. But to talk about what you were saying earlier about them not defending their home point is, overall the comp here from Blacklisted, in my opinion, is very teamfight focused. It's very group engage focused. They're not really going to be lone roamers. They're going to be sticking together in big groups for most, if not all, of this game here. Oh, double pull comes off, pulls both Vec and I believe Hands down into the cave here at the moment. So once again, they're going to be forced to go back over towards middle. But going back to what I was saying there, these guys, they aren't really going to be making any solo pushes or anything like that. They're generally speaking going to be sticking together as a group for most of the game because that's where they're going to be at their strongest. You've got Yura. Yura's going to rely very heavily on teammates to keep other people out and get the peels that are necessary to allow him to do the DPS with the longbow. And then other than that, you don't really have a lot of strong 1v1ers in this team. So it's going to come down a lot to how well they can navigate as a team and how well they can force big team fights.
Spoon Girl dropping off that ledge immediately into the edge of a rim, warding, knocking her back. Unfortunate for her. Just the point of view is kind of hilarious. You know, oh, I'm going to go for the point, and then just like walking right into that wall. But we are seeing the team fight now revolve around Temple mostly. There is a 1v1. I think that's probably going to be Storm and Vec over on the middle here, but Storm has pushed off Vec. And Red Team desperately needs this 2 cap to be gone for them. They are only a little bit behind, about 1 kill's worth, but you know, every second that takes away, that lead gets stronger and stronger. They want to be in a good position around the time that, you know, Stillness comes out in about 10 seconds, then they need this 2 cap.
And indeed, Zombify here back in middle, back at the red team terminal, getting a little bit low, but he's hanging on alright, and they've pretty much wiped out all resistance here from the red spot, so they're going to be able to hold on to this node pretty confidently. They are starting to split now, which may be a bit of a risky maneuver here. We've got Spoon Girl trying to go 1v1 versus Vec. Spoon Girl probably, if there were going to be any stronger 1v1ers or kind of side node skirmishers here, it definitely would be Spoon Girl to be one of those players here, so it's definitely good to have him over here. Other than that, we do have a lot of their guys fighting back over here once again. Hand's going to go in for the decap onto that. Yura, however, just snuck a back cap here at the Temple somehow there versus Serenade Sky, so he's not going to have to 1v1 versus an Ellie. Not sure how well this one's going to go, as again, the Ellie has a lot more healing sustain than Yura does damage here, so I do think this will end up in an advantage here for Serenity and Sky, but we're going to have to hold on and see. Yura very low, 2 seconds away from a Troll Unguent. Keep in mind, Troll Unguent, not an instant heal. It takes effect over 10 seconds here, but it does look like, again, with him able to get Hunter Shot and get stealth off from that, he is going to get a very large portion of the regeneration off here to kind of bring him right back into the game. But again, due to the fact that he had to step away and recap here, he has actually no, look, he's handling this very well. Very well played here so far by Yura.
And there's the block. Look at this.
Look at this.
Serenity Sky not really knowing how to deal with this.
Look how low Yura's been throughout this whole fight too. But yep, he did take a little bit too much Condi pressure there and finally goes down. But still, for how long he was holding off there and how well he was managing the point despite having to be off it for so long, that was really well played by Yura. For a Power Ranger, nonetheless, that was really well played.
Go, Yura. Go. Hans knew he was dropping over at the Stillness though, but War Banner from Storm for the very second he went down saves the day. Storm's going to go down very soon if he's not careful. Zombie has about 4k health in that plate for him. Comes out with 900, 700 now, drops to the down state. Here comes Hans, will get the stomp
Storm's
off.
down now as well, though. Hold on, Hans comes in. Hans thankfully did have stability, so yep, Storm will get back up. Thankfully did have that safety there, so they'll get him back up. And it seems, however, that Steb has DC'd.
And I don't think that Storm has noticed this captain for Blacklist. I mean, even if he did, there is no there's no reset.
Yes, unfortunately, we are not allowed to reset the games here. So with that said, Blue Team will gain a very hefty advantage here due to the disconnect on the side of the Red Team at the moment.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. Stab, gotta invest in that better router, buddy. Or I don't know what the problem is.
Did you see
it's
that?
really unfortunate for Blacklist here. They are gonna be losing their they were really keeping up.
Yeah, they were doing really well, and they've definitely been showing their stuff here as individual players. We've been seeing a lot of skill here coming out from Team Blacklisted so far, but obviously the 45 is going to lock them down pretty heavily on other nodes. Depending on how fast they can step in, there's maybe a chance for a comeback, but it's just somewhat unfortunate here that this has happened now.
Oh, look at the health pool right now. Hans is down, Spoon Girl just respawned, Yura about half health, and he's over on his home point now. And he's about to take a 1v3. Yura's going to die very soon. So he and his team need to figure out what exactly they can do to just buy time until Steb comes back. So Steb, when he DC'd in the beginning of this game, it took him probably about 2 to 3 minutes. 8:30 just happened. Shrink is happening. This is a way they can come back if they can take it. Unfortunately, they don't have the manpower. Look at that.
Yeah, and the bottom. Oh,
they grabbed it. They got it.
Wait. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Storm got bottom here. Now it comes to the top of. They can take top of. They might be able to rally back around. They have lost mid. Oh, but again, due to them not having
anyone's on points
here. Again, they did. I think they did kind of overcommit to bot, as you can see. I don't think they were really expecting them to get that so quickly. They had 2, maybe even 3 guys down here. They're all coming up back to mid now, but unfortunately, they did lose 2, and I think they're going to lose the 3rd cap here now as well, even though they got that buff.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback, Blue, because this is not exactly what it is. Steb is back, though, so they have bought enough time. They're only 60 points behind. Stillness is still a thing here.
Zombify goes down up top, but they've got Falana and Vec coming in to cover him, though. Good knockback goes up by Vec, but again, Sans had stability. Falana steal. Had they have had Falana steal there just about a second before, Vec might have been able to knock him back, but still, thankfully the steal still interrupted that, and they were able to get Zombify back up. So once again, Blue Team does have the advantage over here at the top buff fight.
Yeah, and Hans is still, he's got the staying power. They have Steb here. They just need people on points in addition to what this top buff is. Like, get Stillness now, Red Team, and you don't have anything.
Yeah.
I think Stormer's going over to Temple. That's great. Send Yura somewhere else. Get him to kill people, which is exactly what he's trying to, like, spec out to do, and you'll be fine. Like, at this point, though, they're 100 points plus behind. They need to kick it into overdrive.
Yeah, they really need to get themselves together. Like I said, we haven't really seen those big team fights that I've been talking about. We haven't seen them force too much. But once again, look, they've managed to steal another buff.
These guys are sneaky, but they gotta be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, they've got to be more than sneaky. They've got to be brutal. They've got to force these team fights. We're not seeing that too much. We're still seeing the map. Just to open up the big map for a second here. They're still split all over the map. That's not their strength. They need to force these guys to push over here to middle. This is not what they want to have happen right now. If they can do that, they can take an advantage there and then over-rotate. Obviously, again, the 4v5 has given their Blue Team a pretty big advantage here now, but a lot of it is coming down now that they have their player back to kind of the fact that they haven't been able to push their strengths too well so far in this game.
Yeah, with 6 minutes left on the clock, they did get a decap over right ultimate. That's what Spoon Girl is really good at getting. Decaps. But they need to force something else here as well. Stillness is about to decay. Oh my god, Falana! Oh my god!
That was fall damage! That was fall.
Falana got wrecked.
I think, well, no, it wasn't fall damage, but there was definitely fall damage coming down from there, and we saw Steb jumping on and completely destroying him with just the sleeve of health he probably had left there from fall damage. Had that have been fall damage, he would have fully died, but still, clutch knockback from Yura there, and then good follow-up there from Steb as well. Completely destroyed Falana.
Dude, Steb is angry, man. Steb's taking out his anger from his router issues on this game.
And they're coming back. Look, they're coming back.
Don't call it a comeback, Blue. Don't call it a comeback. This doesn't happen in EU.
Good right now. Look at this. They've got them. They've managed to get them back in mid. Hold on. Ah, my mouse is bugging out. What's going on? Oh crap.
It's just way too excited.
Wait 1 second. I gotta blow on it.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Look, it fixes it. See? Sometimes the sensor gets like dust in it or something.
Listen, what you do with your mouse, you can do on your own time. It's Guild Wars time right now.
It bugs sometimes.
Listen.
Anyway.
The comeback, they're only 20 points behind.
Oh no, look, now they've lost all their points. Blue Team, oh no, the orb missed, but he thankfully got Wave of Light off, so he's okay.
Jisoo just messaged me on Twitter. He said to follow him on LinkedIn, and if he was not busy checking his social media, he'd be able to catch that buff there, man.
Alright, so back over here at the temple, Falana got knocked out once more by Steb. Yura's gonna be able to capture this in just a moment. Meanwhile, back on the midpoint, you've got Zombie going up against Storm. Storm is not doing so hot. Vex sure of that too, so he's gonna leave. They need to get some more support. Here comes Steb, but they've got a lot of ground to make up here because Storm's in the downstate. Zombify, there needs to be a steal or something coming out, but no, Plague Stomp will guarantee that. But no, he has the steal there, so he gets that off unblinded, thankfully, so that is gonna connect. SR comes in as well, so they should be able to get the res and bring this back up to a 2v1 and possibly take an advantage. And on the other two nodes, they have full control. There's a 1v1 back over here at the altar. Vecno making good work. He'll get the decap. And as well, Temple is fully capped. We do have another buff that spawned at 530 mark. Yura's going for a cap onto that. Has almost channeled it, but once again gets interrupted there by Amaboss or Jisoo, but is still going to be able to hold it contested here. And once again, guys, it has fully happened now. Team Blacklisted, even though they were up against the 45, has now fully come back, and they're now in the lead.
The comeback is real. This is something that we didn't see yesterday during the EU side at all. They were trying to get it, but now we are seeing this Blacklisted Envy pushing in, showing that they are really living up to the old Blacklist's name very, very well. Storm and his team are really putting the heart onto Jubinder. They're out-rotating them like crazy. Zero is just putting so much damage down.
This is such a delicate lead they have right now. Look at how much it is. It's only like 10 points. That's it.
3 minutes
One mistake, 2 kills. That gets completely flipped around. And yeah, there's only 3 minutes left in the game here. This, if it goes slowly enough, there's a possibility this may come down to a timer. At the very least, we are going to see a 230 bot buff. So our teams do have to remember that, because again, very rarely do we see a Temple game go this long, go to a 230 buff. So if one of these teams doesn't catch on to the timer, if one of these teams doesn't realize that, we could see a free channel down bot. So keep that in mind in about 30 seconds from now.
So Red Team has also grabbed stillness. Their lead is increasing steadily.
Zombify gets the double stomp here at mid. Very well done once again here by Envy. Knocks out Zombify and Falana. Blue team is just getting destroyed here at mid. Look at this. Sorrentian has nothing left. He has to go to Water Tomb. He's got no cleanses or anything here. He's going to have to try to dive out of this and use Evasive Arcana, but even that might have been on cooldown there, so he's going to go down. Double stomp comes in. They've got a cap. They're going to take a 6 cap here. 230 buffs are spawning. Take a look downstairs. This is Blue team's only hope. And look at this. They've got congestion.
Oh, no.
Steb's taking out Vec. So Steb's even going to get the cap down here. It's all over, guys. Team Blacklisted is going to win this first game here. The 4v5 didn't stop them. The lead against them didn't stop them. Sire pressing the GG button. So Team Blacklisted going to take game 1. And with that said, putting them 1 game away from qualifying for the ToL2 Grand Finals.
I got chills, man. Wow. In addition to taking it via points, and so they got a kill to end it. They had pretty much all 3 points on lockdown, and then they got Trank.
Yeah.
So the second the game ended, Blacklisted got Trank, which would have given them all 3 points anyway. This is after coming down from a 100-point deficit with a 4v5.
With a 4v5, nonetheless.
What just happened?
They for whatever reason there, after they got Steb back, I don't know if Blue team got cocky, I don't know if Blue team got over secure, that, oh, it's 4v5, we got this. But for whatever reason, when Steb got back in the game, they just got out-rotated. They got completely shut down on all the nodes. All the fights happened. Once again, forced the big mid-fight finally, and we saw that happening there, so they were able to come back through that, and it just completely turned itself around. Got the track channel, and that again just shot them back up into the lead. So, good job there by Blacklisted. Steb does have to watch out for those disconnect issues here, because if that happens again on this map, it's going to be a lot harder to come back, obviously, because we don't have the buffs, but it's still very well played.
It's a very hard counter. And I mean, if you are, wow, if you're Jubinder right now, you gotta be like kicking yourself. You had that advantage, you had that just ridiculous lead, and then kind of gave it up. You gotta push back here. So on Forest, this is a map that we've seen every single time. What do you think they're gonna change up? We have Zombify here, who has really been good about getting his fears off. We have Serenity, who's been able to stick onto points. Even versus Yura as well. In addition to that, you have Vec, Engineer, going to be able to put some pressure and take people off. And then you have Falana, who's been sort of just running around, doing tons of damage. Plus you have Jsu, who of course has got the staying power of the Guardian unlocked. What do you change? Rotationally, or?
In terms of the comp, I don't see anything changing. This is a pretty solid comp here again. You've got Burst, comes into play from Falana. You've got kind of your tanky side of the fighter, that'll be Vec over here. You've got your Condi, that's once again Zombify. Vec kind of does the Condi damage there too. And then you've got Serentian Sky, who's kind of acting as your kind of half support, half DPS in fight. And then obviously JSU being your big bunker. So in terms of their comp, it's pretty solid, it's very good. They don't really need to change anything up with that. Like I was saying earlier though, Red Team is so focused on big team fights. They need to push those in order to win. If they can properly split and win side node fights, easy game for Jubinder, personally. That's how I feel.
Alright. And if they take this, and then Blacklisted takes the next one, this is the first time it'll have been right the entire tournament.
We're gonna have to wait and see as we get started with our farthest game here in just a second, guys. Storm saying he needs just a minute here, so we'll take a look at some more builds here while we're waiting against Serentian Sky. I believe Serentian Sky was playing DD in game, correct?
Serenity was playing...
Or Serenity. Yeah, Serenity Sky. Was he playing DD or was he playing Staff? Because we do see Celestial Staff at least, but...
I think it was Staff, and I remember seeing the Bifrost.
Do you? Okay, so probably is gonna be Staff in game then again, though. This is, generally speaking, the split. It could run with DD, could run with Staff. We may end up seeing Staff. Just want to check the traits here really quickly, though. Sorry, sorry. Just trying to check to see if he's got any staff traits. No, not seeing any staff traits, so it might be DD, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. And again, this build has a pretty decent amount of damage, does kind of boost not only his own damage, but his teammates' damage as well when he gets into fights through the Runes of Strength, so we'll wait and see that when it does come into play. And he'll also have quite a bit of support through water attunement skills to keep his teammates up and alive as well. Once again, moving on from that, we do have, going over to the red team for a second here, Hans playing a pretty typical Bunker Guardian build, 00266. This is actually one of the first Virtues Guardian appearances we've seen today. I believe only 2 or 3 of those we've actually seen play. AH has definitely taken the precedent for Guardian builds, but this build, a little bit more team-focused, does rely a little bit more on the Virtues being off cooldown to support himself as well as teammates, but obviously, again, still works just as effectively as an AH build. Moving on from that once more here, we've got Spoon Girl playing, I believe, pretty much the same build that we saw Vec playing. I think the only difference being the weapon choices. Actually, no, but they're both playing rifle as well, so yeah, there's just a couple of slight differences coming into play here. Runes of Holbrecht being used on both sides, and then 60044 being utilized by Spoon Girl a little bit. And other than that, really, Mila Storm, I think he's the only build we have yet to go over so far, and Storm's just playing your typical Hambo over here. He is playing a Berserker, so he's going to be eating a little bit more damage. It makes him a little bit more squishy, but he takes Runes of Holbrecht to make up for that, as he is going to be reducing his Condi duration that goes on him, and as well as having traits like Cleansing Ire, which are very, very good at cleansing Condi, and the complete Condi immunity that he gets from Berserker stance makes him quite an anti-Condi machine, as well as a damage machine too, through the Hambo abilities.
The match starts soon.
Is that going to be enough, though? I mean, he can sort of just eat through Zombify, eat through Vex, and
Now, yeah, so here's the thing. He's not completely immune to Condis, obviously. He got his own Berserker stance, and if Zombify isn't too smart, if he, you know, if he, like, botches his big Condi burst when he's got Berserker stance up, then, well, that's just a waste. But again, if Zombify plays up smart, waits until his Milo Storm has used his dodges, waits until he's used all his cooldowns, then he can very, very quickly lock him down with a Fear Chain and prevent him from even using Cleansing Ire there and just completely melt him with Condis.
we're seeing a traditional
No, we're not.
from red, but from blue, we're seeing a very desperate push.
Let's take a look here at what they are doing. 4 going across, apologies, 3 going across here at the moment, over to the mine. Did send their Elementalist Serenity Sky over here to mid, and he is playing DD to correct ourselves from earlier. So DD Ellie going to be in mid. Does have Yura on him, though, and that's going to be trouble once again. Instantly has to go into LOS here. We're going to have to wait and see. This last 1v1 that we saw on the last map did end up going into Serenity's favor, but Serenity's already been engaged on here, so Yura gets an advantage to that, and so far Yura being extremely smart with his abilities and might just be able to win this 1v1 here.
Let's check out what's going on in mine. This was an interesting push from the blue side. Able to stop pretty much everyone. They did drop Spoon Girl, I think,
but Spoon Girl just barely gets up there. You saw she was up and only had like 10% health. Falana does go down over here, though. Thankfully, just gets out of the way with Shadow Escape in the downstate there, as we did have another stomp coming in from Steb, but Hans will not execute it with stability, just to guarantee that Spoon Girl is still kind of ranging away from the top here, just to avoid having herself go down. And overall here, even though, wrong person, even though we did see so far Blue Team doing very good in this team fight, it is starting to fall apart now, as once again, Red Team has gotten the majority of their players into this fight.
That's right. They need this cap, though. They need to focus on getting on the board. Right now, they've only got 5 points from that 1 kill. We are seeing that Hans is dead. Vec going in for the stomp. Can he be stopped? No, Hans does get stomped. Mila gets up, though. Vec trying to get something done. Does get stopped. Stopped. Dazed. Then grenaded. And then, Storm, though. Storm goes in the downstate. Steb coming through here as well. Spoon Girl very low. Everyone wiping from red side. Don't call it a comeback, please.
Look, we're looking at a possible 3-cap for Jubinder here. Look at this, 5-70 at the moment here, and they're going to take control of Red Team's home node in just a second. Now, they have moved Vecna and Zombify off node here, kind of to act as counter pressure here. They're going to move back towards mid, because we do have some guys on the way over there. Specifically, we do have Spoon Girl going, but again, good lockdown so far here by both Vec and Falana. Going to be able to close these guys down, take Spoon Girl completely out. We have Urantian on the way, but again, Urantian, keep in mind, on Power Ranger, he's going to be extremely squishy. But Falana, hold on! Uh-oh, tries to get the sniper shots off here, but it does not look like he's going to be able to keep LOS long enough. Oh! Gets the LOS off, or gets the stealth off there. He tries to go for a channel with Rapid Fire, but thankfully Bouncy Venom is available. Here comes Storm with some more CC. Gonna act as peels for Urantian here. Yura does screw up a swoop here, so once again, gonna get rushed a little bit too far away, but hunting down Valana at the moment. Steals the stability. Condi Burst comes in at the same time from Zombify. Gonna absolutely destroy Urantian here. He goes down, but good banner combo comes in from Storm, and now Urantian's right back up and in the fight. And in the same time, Valana has also been knocked out by Steb, so now he's gonna be in the downstate. It's gonna be very close in the res procedure, though. Let's go over, see if they can get him up. And no, they're not gonna be able to stop him out. Blue Team gets him back up, and they're going to live to fight another day.
Red is just not able to get the kills they were in the very first game here, Blue. As this fight transitions all over the map, look, Yura's getting henge. The rest of Red is on the middle point here or heading towards it, but here comes Serenity. I think Serenity has realized how to deal with Yura now. And they sort of are not thrown off by the Power Ranger build anymore. They're not thrown off by the rest of the composition. So they have made the changes that they've needed to. We see that Yura now blocking off everything what Serenity is trying to throw at him, is able to have the health lead right now. But will he take the fight in the long run is the question.
Well, that's the thing again, is because Serenity Sky does have a lot more heals, does have a lot more kind of damage mitigation skills than generally speaking Yura will have available in the long run. The longer the fight goes on, the more the advantage does end up falling over towards Serenity. But again, with Hands coming over here into play, with the pet CCs probably going to be up here in just a second for Yura, and with again that huge burst, that huge sustain in general that just comes off from Longbow is going to be enough to take him down. But yeah, with Jesu coming in, there's going to be enough cleave, and that is where the crux of the build comes in, is it doesn't have too much corpse thief in Longbow. Again, if he's able to get a rapid fire channel off, it's definitely a decent amount, but unfortunately in that scenario there was not enough to keep Serenity Sky in the down state.
Like 2 more hits.
If he can get a Longbow hit off, 2 more hits, it'll take him down. But yep, nope, he's getting regen off now, so he should be good.
Wow, Serenity's got the most ridiculous survivability right now.
That's DDLE, man.
And it's crazy. Looking at the score, they're down 100 points. They've come back from this, but they have both side points. And I think this really just comes down to Jubinder really not pushing mine. If they pushed mine, I'm not sure that Blacklisted would know how to would be able to respond. They probably know how to, but they probably wouldn't be able to push it.
They definitely could. I'm definitely saying the Blacklist could respond to it. It comes down to a lot of who goes there, because like I said, they don't really have a lot of strong 1v1ers in general, so if they send the wrong person there, then Ju's going to get it pretty easily. But I think what Ju's doing right now is okay. They're kind of focusing on their home node. They have to watch out, again, based on how big the fight gets, like I've said many times here. Apologies. Blacklist's team is pretty much 90% team fight, not very much good on the skirmishing. Thankfully over here, Vec, as well as I believe, as I believe JSU was as well, they were already engaged in combat here, so they both were taking quite large amounts of damage anyway, so Stab and Spooker were able to win this 2v2 here. But again, the bigger the fight gets, the more the advantage kind of tips towards Blacklisted, so unfortunately they do have to avoid bigger fights, if at all possible, just in general in this matchup.
Absolutely. Now with the actual defense of Henge complete, we will see that,
now, it's actually pretty bold that they're going to move completely off this and just leave Yura here.
Did you see that?
They do have Hands kind of camping around. Actually, no, they're not moving here. I thought they were going to move completely back over to middle or something there, but it looks like they're not doing that.
This is actually really smart.
Yura's in some trouble here.
They saw that, well, they knew that the team had all went. So they sent everyone to cover every base and then really hammered in as soon as they got in here. Unfortunately for them,
Yura needs to swoop out of here. He's gonna die very quickly. He's gotta get out. He gotta avoid emotes. He's gotta swap weapons here. Longbow's not gonna do. Oh no, he's going for Falana though. Gonna try to take her down. We do see going down with some resistance from Stab, but Yura's also gonna go down the process too. Ticking time bomb goes in and blows himself up there to kick out Falana, but he gets stopped first, unfortunately, due to a miscommunication on SR. And now Falana,
they're up.
And indeed they are.
So again, 100 point lead, stopped by Blacklisted. They have the points. As long as they can keep them, as long as they send Hans over to Hange and he gets it before Zombify gets the decap, which will not happen. They were pretty fine, but again, they have a very shaky lead. They've got to push it. They've got to just come back and.
I'm noticing that they're being a lot more mobile in this game. They're all over the map. It's pretty crazy. They're just
triple downstate.
Very nicely done over here. Once again, we see both Vec as well as JSU going into the downstate over here at the mine. But back to what I was saying is, again, that we do see Blacklisted being extremely more mobile in this game compared to the last one there. They're going all over the map, and they're taking big team fights with them wherever they do end up going. They're bringing people with them. They're taking 2 guys. They're taking 3 guys on at a time, and they're just moving it from fight to fight. We even just saw, what was that, a 4-on-4 over at the beach? It was a big team fight there. And they're like, screw it, we're going to team fight this because we know we can take it. We know we have the support. We know we have the big deeps to take it down, and we're going to want to fight those regardless.
And it's really working out well for them. Unfortunately, they need to keep pushing it that way. If you're Jubinder, though, you've got to start stringing them along. Maybe invest some time into forest creatures. Maybe invest some time in sending someone off to that side point there, because these team fights are just not working.
Jubinder, though, definitely doing a nice job of keeping themselves pretty consistent here, keeping themselves close quarter, trying to watch their backs here. It just comes down to a lot of, alright guys, we need to, again, this is the thing I've been talking about a lot with Jubinder, is they kind of need to split up a little more. I think they are trying to team fight too much, and I don't think they can win those team fights just based on the comp they're up against. They need to split these up more, they need to go for big ganks, they need to take 2 guys, send them over to where maybe only 1 or 2 of Blacklisted is, and take them out really quickly, and take nodes away, and just in general, kind of circumnavigate them, move away from them, get to other nodes. If they can do that, I think that we could easily see Jubinder come back, but at the moment, Blacklisted is kind of working their strategy. Really just working their strategy on Jubinder. Jubinder isn't really doing much to stop it.
Absolutely. Yura, 600 health, gets dropped by Serenity Sky. Man,
big overextension there by Euro once again. Just kind of walked into 3 or 4 members of the blue team, so not too surprising that he ended up going down there.
And his teammates weren't there just yet, unfortunate for him. There's a line of warning though. Stop Zombify for a second. Serenity Sky just like lightning flashes straight past it. Able to get straight through here. Interesting to note though, look at where Storm is. Storm is kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna watch the front of space, I'm gonna watch Henge.
With them, so here's the thing, is Hambo gets a lot of its strength from fighting on point, especially with the longbow. So with that said, they're not really fighting on point, Envy isn't. They're moving around a lot, they're not really in the singular spot. So while again, the CC that he can bring to the fight through Hammer is going to be really good, I think they kind of decided it might be better to just keep with the Foreigner, at least for that time. They're in a big fight on point now, so now they're going to move Storm over here, which in all honesty might not be the best opportunity, because we have Zombify is going to spawn in a second. We'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 more guys from Ju going down if Steb doesn't die here, and those guys are going to be spawning in a second too. So now probably would have been better to keep him there, but before it was still a good idea to keep him there because again, he's probably one of the more tankier 1v1ers on this team, and with him being on Hambo, he does have the potentiality to not only hold on to the point while he's 1v1ing, but win the 1v1s as well. But unfortunately, with him moving off the point to mid, it has obviously opened it up for a free decap back over there at the Henge.
Absolutely. Henge will get decapped, but mid will get capped up by Spoon Girl now that they've sort of just dealt with everyone coming here. I think that Yura might actually be able to, oh no, just at the last second, joined by Falana, gets Bassied. Here comes Steb though, trying to jump in for this as well. Serenity Sky charging up for an attack there, but not quite able to go through here. Able to just sort of fake it out there, as we do see Yura getting up on some higher ground and just setting up Storm for a stomp here. Look at the pet. He doesn't even have to deal with this. He's just going to drop the fire field, the combustive shot, onto Falana and let him bleed out.
Falana will be going down in just a second here. Already using Shadow Escape, and once again here, Blacklisted just rocketing ahead. Blue team trying to close the gap here by taking a quick kill on a Chieftain. Back up here at Spawner. Yura's going to try to reiterate the same exact thing and try to take that one out, and should be able to do so without any congestion whatsoever. Blue team's still pretty far away. Depending on how quickly Yura does this, however, we could see these guys coming up from the back here. Vec as well as Zombify come in and kind of steal it away, especially considering Yura's positioning. He might be priming for a bit of bit of a surprise here.
Able to do it?
Pull, magnet pull, can they steal it? And no! Yura snags it. Now they're back up to 470 points, and that may be it. We may be looking at a 2-0 here.
Yeah, this might be GG. It's very hard to see a 100-point lead get close at the end of the game here, but especially when you're down in the caps here. The fight at mid, let's check it out and see exactly what is going on from a bird's eye view. We're seeing Serenity Sky get stomped out, and I think that with the small amount of manpower that Jubender has here, their hopes are kind of gone.
Yeah.
Like, by the time that Spawnier died, they needed to be decapping at one point and be heading towards them, basically, in order for any chance of winning. And unfortunately for them, they just weren't in that position. That is an incredible set of comebacks, though, from Team Blacklist. The first one with the DC, down over, like, what, 200, almost 200 points?
About 150, I'd say it was about.
And then in the second one, down in the beginning, caught off guard with that crazy split, and then able to run it back, even though, you know, losing some team fights, coming back in the team fights, running them back in with a 2-cap that eventually to their victory. That was an incredible match, and Blacklisted will be moving on to the champion bracket.
Alright guys, so with that said, that game is going to be over, but we have one more game to bring you guys today, our third place match, which is going to end up being between, let's see here, Elusive as well as Jubender. That game will be coming up in about 10 minutes, guys. We do have another llama to give away in the chat, while we assuming Nightbot is working, that is, so we'll be doing that while we're away. Stick around, guys, for the conclusion of today's Qualifier stream here at the Tournament of Legends 2. Be right back, guys.